Okay, the Swiss clock. The minute hand is on that one, and the second, I think, was on that black line over there. It's been, well, however long it's been since that thing moved. I'm just sitting here. I don't feel like playing a game, but the microphone's still plugged in, so I might as well look at the Swiss clock. There's not any Roman numerals now, there's just some small grey lines and those black lines. I could have looked up what the minute and the second and the hour hand were called, but I didn't. So that is 10 for the red hand and 11:10 for that one. 11:10, no, 11:05. Right. What do these things represent now? Let's see, that's 12, and then that's 1. So you got 12, 12:10, 12:20, 12:30, 12:40, 12:50, so it can't be that. What do these 4 things represent? Okay, we know that's 12, and we know that's 1. 12, 12:15, 12:30. No, it's not 15 minutes either. It's not 5 minutes. So what do these 4 little lines represent? That's a 12, and that's a 1. So we've got 12, 12:10, 12:20, 12:30, 12:40, and then it would be 12:50, but it's not. It's not 5, so it's not a 15, because then it would end up on that one. 12, 12:15, 12:30, 12:45, 1. No. So it's not 10, it's not 15. 12, 10, okay, 12, 12:12, 12:24, 12:36, 12:48. Yeah, okay, so each of those little things represents 12. So we had the second hand on 10:12. No, we didn't. Oh, we had the minute hand on 11:12. And the second hand on 10. So 11:12, 10 minutes, that would be 12:12, 1:12. Yes. 1:12 with the red hand on the 10. So, a long way to go. It's interesting that they represent 12 minutes. I wonder if all clocks do that. Maybe it's the Swiss clock. I didn't really pay much attention to the other one, but I thought they represented 10 minutes, I suppose. But no, they represent 12 minutes each. I suppose it would depend on what clock you've got. If you had 5 little dashes, then it would represent 10 minutes. No, 12 minutes. I'm learning. See, looking at the clock and I'm learning. On the first clock I learned... Well, I noticed the minute hands and I was wondering what they were called. I don't know if I learned anything about the numbers. Looking at the Roman numerals, I thought about them a bit, and now I've figured out that those little lines mean 12 minutes. See, looking at the clock isn't completely worthless. It's something. So this will be the 30th minute and the 3rd clock. I worked out if I look at a clock for 10 minutes every day. I worked out the amount of hours it would be, but I've forgotten now. Anyway, 10 days would be 100 minutes. 6 days would be an hour. So 60 days would be 10 hours. That's how I worked it out. 300 days, that's 50 hours. Maybe. We got 50 hours of clock watching. That's 300 days, and then we got another 6 for 60 hours or something. Okay, I've got time. I might as well work it out. Let's see. Okay, 6 is an hour. 6 is an hour, and there's 365. So let's say 6 an hour. So that's 50 minutes. We have 50 minutes on that one. We'll work from going backwards, forwards, backwards. We'll go backwards. So that's 50 minutes. And then that's an hour each. 10 hours. 10 hours, 50 minutes. And then we've got the 300, which is 50 hours. So that's 60 hours and 50 minutes. Yep. 60 hours and 50 minutes if I watch 1 clock a day. That's for the year. But then again, this is the same day, so that's an extra on top. So we've rounded it. If I don't do an extra one on the days, but I do one every day, since this is an extra 10 minutes, then we've rounded it up to whatever it was I said. 60 hours and 50 minutes? Okay, 61 hours. We've rounded it up to 61 hours of clock watching. And this is the third clock. So that's 365 different clocks. Actually, 366 different clocks if I do one a day, counting this one. So that's 366 different clocks and 61 hours of clock watching. That's great. Plus an extra second, because on that first video I went a second over. I don't know why. I was thinking just in case, I'll go a second over just in case, but turned out I would have been right if I ended it where I said. Nearly there. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to go. Wait a minute. They don't represent 12, that would be an hour each. That's interesting. I've worked it out the hour way. They represent 12 minutes each for the hour hand. But for the minute hand, they represent a minute. Yeah. So for the hour hand, they represent 12 minutes. And for the minute hand, they represent 1 minute. And for the second hand, they represent a second. There we go, I've figured it out. Who's ever figured that out? Probably someone, but... that's interesting. I had completely forgotten about the minute's purpose. Yeah, I was originally thinking 5 minutes, but nah. But each of the big black lines represents 5 minutes for the minute hand. And each of the little ones represents 1 minute. So what do the big black lines represent for the minute hand? For the second hand, they represent 5 seconds each. For the minute hand, they represent an hour each. Yeah, there we go. I've cracked it. I figured out the clock. It only took me 10 minutes to figure out the clock. Unless there's something else to figure out about the clock. I don't think so. We're nearly there. Minutes ago. Just gotta wait for that to get to the 10. Or 50-second. Well, it would be the 50-second area for the little hand there. The red hand. It does move pretty quick, the clock hand. I'm sure I've seen clocks move slower. 10 seconds to go. Well, that's another 10 minutes and the Swiss clock